want to bring in Congressman Schiff, Democrat from California and a member of the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence. Always good to see you, Congressman. Good morning.
Thank you.
We'll get to some of the specifics, but I want to ask you big picture first of all, because the Washington Post quoted you as saying about this speech that it raised a number of questions as well as answering some. What questions that are the most important to you did it leave you with?
Well, the President reiterated, and I think this was part of the most powerful portion, that he wants to close Guantanamo. The major question there left over, though, is what happens to those people where there's not sufficient evidence or the evidence may be tainted by how it was gathered to prosecute them and they can't be sent back to another country. What do we do with them? And the President was very clear about that this is something that's going to have to be worked out. And on each of the areas, I think there were questions left open. This was a President who was trying to set the general outline for a change in direction, talking about bringing to an end the kind of global war on terror and having a more focused authority to protect the country going forward. So yes, it did leave a lot of questions for us to answer, but I think the President was talking to the American people in very sophisticated terms, as he should. He doesn't talk down to the American people, and he was willing to say, these are tough issues, we can't ignore them, the answers aren't going to be crystal clear, but we're going to have to work our way through this. It's not the same world and same threat we faced on 9/11.
Well, Republicans have plenty of questions of their own. You heard what John McCain had to say. And Saxby Chambliss, who, of course, is the top Republican on the Senate Intelligence Committee, said the President's speech will be viewed by terrorists as a victory. And so part of their argument, and my question for you is this administration making too many changes too soon? Have we jumped the gun?
No, I don't think so at all. And I think what the President was talking about in the changes to the drone program, as well as the changes in the Guantanamo process, is not a right-hand turn. It's not a swift, rapid change, and for many it won't be rapid enough. But rather, we're at a crossroads. We're going to take a different path. That's appropriate to do in light of the changed security conditions and the changed nature of the al-Qaeda threat we face. But I'll tell you this, and maybe I'm looking at the glass half full. While some of the reaction, like Saxby Chambliss, was disappointing, other reaction I was encouraged by. The fact that Senator McCain, for example, Buck McKean in the House, both a willingness to close Guantanamo as long as we could come up with a plan for what comes next. I think that the President should look at that as a window of opportunity to work with the other side of the aisle, try to find answers to some of those tough remaining questions about what do you do about those difficult detainees that you can't try and you can't repatriate. But I think the door is open to close Guantanamo, and I'm encouraged by what I heard on that.
I want to switch gears, Congressman, and ask you about Lois Lerner. We learned that the new acting head of the IRS asked for her resignation, and she wouldn't give it. So now she's on paid administrative leave. But we know, obviously, that she pled the Fifth, refusing to talk about what happened with the targeting of Tea Party groups. I mean, if this was your company, if this wasn't the government, would this person have been outright fired? What do you make of all this?
Well, yeah, I think they probably would have been fired, and I don't think that we can have confidence in her continued leadership. So I think it would have been best for the IRS and best for the country had she resigned. She's decided not to do that, and I'm sure that we'll follow whatever processes need to be followed. But I think we need new personnel. We need to have a new level of confidence in the IRS that they're going to act impartially and enforce the law neutrally. We need them to do their job. We can't have them walk away from the need to make sure that we go after some of the sham groups that are hiding under 501c4, but they have to do it in an absolutely even-handed manner. And I'm not sure that we can have the confidence in the current leadership of Lerner and others that they will do that. And moreover, there were serious questions raised about whether she disclosed to the Congress, knowing the Congress interest and inquiry in this, and that means that the Congress wouldn't have enough confidence in her either.
Congressman Schiff, it is always good to have you on the program, and thank you so much.